one of the things that the media always does, and not just to you, but just to everybody, you know, sometimes you always have a negative view on people. In your case, you know, negative view on you and what you did in the past. But one thing that, you know, I emphasize and I do on my show is I like to get to know you, you know, in a different level. I know we don't have all day, but this, if you can, tell my viewers and I something that the public eye wouldn't know you like to do. Like, what's some of your enjoyments? Like, I love to go to the movies. I'm a big movie fanatic. What's something that the public eye would say, oh, I didn't know Mr. Bill Ayers liked to do that, or he likes
Okay, well, let me back up just one more minute on the media. The problem with the media isn't so much bias, but it's laziness. And the fact is that, you know, you know, the media wants to tell a story that has a beginning, a middle, and an end. So it's a narrative that makes sense. The courtroom, so the newsroom is a place where you have a narrative that's linear.
Right.
The courtroom is a place where you have two narratives competing with each other, and one narrative has to win. Part of the reason I've always loved being a teacher, which I've been since 1965, and I've always loved being in a classroom, is a classroom is a place where no narrative needs to be the dominant narrative. Every narrative can be undone by asking another question.
Right.
And so the narratives are multiple, and that's what I like about classroom. So in the campaign of 2008, I'll just give you one example of the stupidity of narrative, is that a McCain official was being interviewed by CNN in Florida near the end of the election. And he said to the CNN guy said to the McCain official, "You say that Obama has anti-Semitic friends. Who?" And the McCain guy says, "Rashid Khalidi, who happens to be a dear, close friend of mine."
Right.
And he is far from anti-Semitic, but he is a Palestinian.
Right.
So the guy says, Rashid Khalidi. And the CNN guy, without missing a beat, he doesn't say, "Well, I've read Khalidi's books, and he's not an anti-Semite." Instead, he says, "Who else?" As if it's just assumed that Rashid is an anti-Semite. And the guy says, "Bill Ayers." And the CNN guy then says, "Ayers isn't an anti-Semite, he's a terrorist."
Wow.
And I mean, you know, Rashid calls me up, and he says, "I got to send you this," he said, "because I want to trade places. I want you to be the anti-Semite, and I'll be the terrorist." Like, these are little dramas you play, little roles, you know what I mean?
Right.
Stupid stuff, stupid. Okay, couple things about me, real quick. You and I are alike. When I'm next in Connecticut, I'll go out to the movies with you. I see every movie. Every movie, to me, is worth seeing. If the celluloid is running by and the story's up there. And so I have a big dispute with my wife about this. She only wants to go to movies that are uplifting, that don't have any sexism in them or violence or racism and all the negatives of our culture. And I say to her, "Well, hell, it's very hard to find a movie like that, but I'll go see anything." And the funny thing is, I go to see something like like Avatar, with Terry in it, and I'm sobbing, and my wife is like, "What the hell are you doing? Why does this move you?" I said, "I don't know. I want to live on the blue planet."
Right.
And her response is, "That's a bunch of romantic shit." So, you know, we have this kind of back and forth. But, so I love movies.
Okay.
Big part of my life is I love taking care of my grandchildren. So I have 2 little grandchildren. I spend a lot of time with them. They live in Chicago. And I take them to school, pick them up from school, and have them overnight at least once a week. Well, so those are some of the things I love doing.
And congratulations on being a grandfather there.
You bet. It's the best.